This is Diamonds in the Rough, a program that takes ordinary people and takes a look at the extraordinary things they've done in their life. And it's also about adversity. People who've had adversity can share lessons of a lifetime that we can take home and use every day. And I'm pretty lucky today to actually have somebody here who's actually amazing. I'll tell you why. This individual is the world-renowned brain surgeon, pediatric neurosurgeon at Beth Israel Medical Center. I'll tell you something. Years ago, actually 18 months ago, he was at NYU Medical Center as the pediatric neurosurgeon there also. But let me tell you why I'm lucky. This is a doctor that years ago, I think it was almost 15, 16 years ago, other doctors would say, hey, what are you doing? This is a doctor that operated on children who had brain stems, spinal cord tumors, and that other doctors said, you're crazy. You cannot go in that region of the brain or that spinal cord and operate without massive harm. But he took a risk. He tried something because he could not take people saying, you know, my child only has 3 months to live from other doctors. He could not take that. He does not believe a child should have that kind of answer. So through his passion and enthusiasm, he took risks, and today is saving thousands of children's lives because of a new technique that's used globally, all over the world, to save these children's lives. And I'm telling you something, we're lucky, and you're going to hear something amazing in a moment about Dr. Fred Epstein, and thank you for coming with us. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
You and I have something in common, actually. I had, in second grade, a learning disability. I mean, I would daydream a lot, and my parents did some work, and I thought I was slow, but I think that actually helped me later on. Tell me, how did people there, see, a brain surgeon, world-renowned, how does he have a learning disability and do what he does?
Look, first, I hate to blow the image of a brain surgeon, you know, had a learning disability. Yeah, I did. It's interesting. Mine, I remember back with the second grade, retrospectively, that I recognized I had it. And you know, Barry, and I think you and I probably share the same experience. We thought we were dumb. Right? Couldn't keep up with the other guys. I remember I couldn't do math, and I was tortured. I had trouble concentrating, probably some attention deficit problems. Hey, now we're sophisticated. Everything's got names. But then it didn't. Then you just felt stupid, and everybody got mad at you. And I'll tell you, the fact that I've made it is kind of an illustration that almost anybody can.
You had a major situation years ago where you were going to try operating on children with brainstem spinal cord tumors, and other doctors were saying you're nuts. Nobody did what you did, and that's why I was impressed the first time we got together. And tell me, what did you do to get, how did you do, let's say the first operation where you're trying that, where other doctors said you should not do, and what has happened because of that? How'd you get over that hump?
Well, you know, it's hard to know. I tell you, one of the things also I think about life is its serendipity. I think we're all at the right place at the right time a few times in life. And I think, again, those of us that achieve success somehow recognize that we're in the right place and are willing to go for it, are willing to go out on the limb. And that's what happened. The type of tumors you're talking about, particularly at the junction where the brain joins the spinal cord, they're very rare tumors. They're very rare tumors. And what frustrated me about these tumors is I was taught that they can't be removed, that the only thing you can do is take a biopsy and maybe give some radiation therapy and extend life a bit, but the children would die. And what frustrated me is if we looked at the tumor under the microscope, it looked like a non-cancerous tumor. It was a benign tumor. And I kept saying to myself, there's something wrong, that if we have a tumor in one area of the brain, that it's fatal, yet if it occurs in another area of the brain, and children commonly get these tumors in the area we call the cerebellum, in the back of the head, it's benign and it can be cured. So I said, why in one area is it incurable, and in the other area it's curable? And I kept saying, there's got to be something wrong. There's got to be a way to looking at this. We've got to figure this out.
There's something I read a while ago, and you said, you know, you see such soul, as you quoted, and it was about a child who said, you know, Dr. Epstein, do me a favor, give me one more summer. What do you got to take out?
God, do I remember that? What a beautiful, you know, Barry, you remember your failures more than your successes.
Sure.
This was a failure, even though we could help the girl do what she wanted. This was a beautiful girl. I'd operated on her 2 or 3 times for a cancerous brain tumor, which you can't cure with surgery. And each time it came back, and I'd taken care of it for 2 or 3 years, and I'll never forget, she said, I want to talk to you without my mother here. This was in July, and she was back in the hospital. She had symptoms. And she said, look, I know what's happening. She was only 14 or 15, I think. She said, I want this summer. If you operate once more, can I get the summer? And I said, I think so. She said, do it. I did it. She had the summer. She wrote me a note. and she said how grateful she was and how much it meant to her and how much she loved me. It was wonderful. And she died in the fall. I have never, ever forgotten that. You know, we remember what we couldn't do more than, you know, when you can do things, you take it for granted. You're supposed to do this.
I could sit here and talk to you for hours. Every time you come on the show, you offer ideas that, you know, take a look at children and in such a different way and how our capabilities are so untapped. And I wanted to leave the viewers with a tip of the week, and there's two ideas. Number one, what you can do with your children, I think, at an early age to make a difference in the mind is the plasticity of the mind that you know that so as a sponge by the age of 5, you can learn 5 languages fluently. They've proven that. And there's 2 things that I found out from not only Dr. Fred Epstein, Dr. Fred Plum, Cornell Medical Center, and other doctors with children, is that number one is read to them. And when this doctor told me at age 3 months, when my daughter was 3 months, he said, read to her constantly. I said, they can't pick up sounds, words that way. They pick up sounds, vowels. They see colors. It's a bonding effect. And constantly you're holding them. The second most important thing for children to develop fast is recognition. Once some child does something that, that's our craving, no matter how old you are, is recognition. And a child sings a song for the first time, plays with blocks. He said, hold them, give them verbal recognition, hold them, give them physical recognition. And it's amazing how they shine after that. Just constant reading and recognition, 2 key points at a child at an early age make a big difference. And I want to say, first of all, it's a pleasure. It's an honor to have you again. With Reader's Digest 2020, you're all over the place, and thank God it's for a good reason.